I need someone to read number 1 for me, please, and thank you.
Should include 2 types of bags, full size and collapsible. Full size bags cost $38.50. The collapsible bags cost $22 each. The bill for the shipment $3,430. How many of each type of bag is there?
So we're trying to figure out how many of each bag. So those are our variables. So let's let X equal the full size. And let's let Y equal the collapsible. Now I know sometimes you guys like to use the variable that starts with like if I was talking about money, you might use M or F for full. I just always use X and Y, and here's why. Because I always know that my ordered pairs come in the order X and Y, and when I start changing the variables, I think sometimes that gets confusing. Do you know what I mean? So just stick with the X and Y. Okay, so I'm ordering 2 types of golf bags. How many total bags did I order? So that means that the number of full-size bags plus the number of collapsible bags has to equal 124. That's my first equation. Does that make sense how I got that? Okay. So the next equation is going to deal all with money. So how much does a full-size bag cost? So 38.5x, $38.50 per bag, right? So that's going to look like 38.5. I'm not going to put the 0 there. X plus how much am I spending on the collapsible bag? So 22.5 Y. And how much money did I spend all together? Yeah, 3,430. So those are the 2 equations that I am going to use. So the next question says, choose your method. I'm going to show that. So it says choose your method. So here's my question. When you think about using substitution, using elimination, I know elimination was your most favorite method, but do you guys see how we have decimals? That could be really challenging, right? So probably the easiest method is going to be what? Substitution, because that's where you want to get X or Y all by itself. So the method that we're going to use is substitution. And do you want to get X by itself in this top equation, or do you want to get Y by itself? Okay. So I'm going to take that first equation, X plus Y equals 124. And I'm going to get X all by itself. Gavin Harper, what am I going to do to get X all by itself? Yeah, subtract Y. Ooh, and that should be 124, not 125, sorry. Thank you on both sides. So X equals 124 minus Y. You could have minus Y plus 124, yes? Because I have 124 minus Y. I plugged it into this top equation. Do you see? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to use the second equation, which is 38.5x plus 22.5y equals 3430. And I'm going to replace the x with this right here. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. So 38.5 times 124 minus y plus 22.5y equals 3430. So here's where the calculator is going to be necessary. I don't know what 38.5 times 124 is. $4,774. Thank you so much. So that's takes care of this. And then I have to distribute over here minus 38.5y. Do you guys see 38.5 times a negative y makes that a negative 38.5y? Okay. Plus 22.5y equals 3430. What would you like to do next, Aiden? There's no wrong answer. Well, there is a wrong answer. We can't divide yet until we combine like terms. Okay. So do you see any like terms that you can group together? Yeah. In your calculator, take negative 38.5 plus 22.5 and tell me what you get. Okay. Elijah, what would you like to do next? Perfect. From both sides?
Yep.
You want to do that math for me because my brain is really not working effectively today. I think it's 1344.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, negative. Okay, 1344. So now what am I going to do? Gavin, pick your head up. What am I going to do next?
Divide by negative 16.
Divide both sides by negative 16. So Y tells me how many collapsible bags I'm buying. Y is the number of collapsible bags. How many is that? 84. Okay. So let's go back to that generic equation that we wrote at the very beginning, the real easy one that said x plus y equals 124. But I know that y is really 84. So what's x? How am I going to solve that? Thank you. How am I going to solve for x? Yeah, subtract 84 from both sides. So x is 40. So my solution is 40 comma 84. Because this is a word problem, we need like a sentence answer. Does that make sense? So who's buying this? Does it say who's the buyer? I'm going to just use the word they. Is that okay? Okay. So they bought 40 full size and 84 collapsible bags.
Have to do this for every single
You have to write a sentence for every single answer for word problems. Yeah. You don't have that many problems for your homework, but yes, you need to do that. Okay. All right. Number 2. Who's reading for me? Go ahead, Kane.
Find the cost of one minute.
Okay, so we need to define our variables. So I'm going to write define variable. So let's let x equal, what do you want x to equal? How about the number of, how about not the number of, but the cost per night? We're trying to figure out the cost, right? So can we let x be the cost per night? Because we have stays and we have meals. Y can be the cost per meal. Okay. Pick your head up. Come on. All right. So the first equation is written right here. 2 night plus 3 meals equals 195. What's that going to look like? Your 2x
3 y
equals
equals
Excellent job, Gavin. Your next equation is written right here. 3 nights and 5 meals cost 300. What's that going to look like? Good job. All right. What method do you guys want to use? God bless you. Yeah, I agree because there's no decimals. So if you only have whole numbers, I would always use elimination. Let's let Kate tell us what to do first. Yeah, because you said that you wanted to use that. God bless you. So Kate, do you want to get rid of your X's or your Y's? Okay, so what do I have to multiply both equations by to get rid of the X's? So like if I multiplied the top equation by 3, that would give me 6x, right? You notice that we always multiply by the opposite, like we multiply the top by whatever this coefficient is, we multiply the bottom by whatever this coefficient is. -2, good job. Gavin, pick your head up or I'm gonna make you stand up. Yes, because you want to be able to add those two together and you want them to cancel out. And the only way that they're gonna cancel out is if you have a positive and a negative of the same number. That's a great question, okay? Yes, so you just, like whatever the coefficient is, whatever variable you're trying to get rid of, that's why I always say like, what do you want to get rid of? So if you want to get rid of the x's, whatever variable is attached to the first equation in the x, that's what you multiply one of them by. Whatever variable is attached to the second equation, that's what you multiply the other one by. You just need to make one of those negative so that they're opposites. Does not matter, okay? I always try to make the bottom one negative so that way it looks like something minus something in my brain. Otherwise, I mess it up. But so I'm gonna do the multiplication, right? So 3 times 2 is 6x. 3 times 3 is 9y. And 3 times 195 is, yeah, thank you, 585. And then -2 times 3x is -6x. -2 times 5 is -10y. And -2 times 300 is -600. So now I'm going to add those, because remember with elimination, we're just going to add those two equations together. And when I do that, I eliminate my x's. So a +9 and a -10 give me a -1y. And +585 and -600 give me -15. That means that y equals +15. Are you guys good with that? So that's the cost per meal. One meal costs $15. There's part of my sentence. We do, because it wanted to know the cost per night and per meal. Okay. So do you want to plug it into the first equation or the second equation? Yeah. So 2x plus 3y equals 195. Now I'm going to get rid of the y and replace it with the 15. So 2x plus 3 times 15 equals 195. 3 times 15 is 45 equals 195. I subtract 45 from both sides. And I find out that 2x equals 150, which means x equals 75. So one night costs $75. So there's really my sentence right there. Okay, I've put it into words. One meal costs $15, one night costs 75. Dude, you're struggling. Go get a drink of water. Throw some water in your face. Hurry it up. Quick, quick. What do you guys think about this? Okay. You like it what? You like elimination better than substitution? I do too. Okay. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay. The Smiths are cleaning out their basement. They realize that they have so much trash, they need to rent a dumpster. Dumpster Incorporated rents dumpsters for $100. That's my initial fee. plus $15 per hour. What does per tell us? It's your slope. So this is my initial fee, which is B, and this is my slope. So these are going to be y equals mx plus b equations. For the first one, yes, y equals 15x plus 100. And this is for the dumpster ink. So garbage R us is initial fee plus 25. Yes, y equals 25x plus 50. So what method do you guys want to use here? Want to use elimination? Yeah, if we use substitution, look, this one is real easy. There are no fractions or anything. If we use substitution, we can just take this and plug it right there. Right? Just take that top chunk. So I'm going to rewrite this as 15x plus 100 equals 25x plus 50. If I was going to use elimination, I would have had to put them in standard form and then multiply. I would have taken 3 steps just to get them ready to solve, okay? So what do you want to do? Do you want to subtract the x? Do you want to subtract the 50, subtract hundreds? Someone tell me what you want to do. So minus 25 on both sides, minus 25x. So when I do that, I have negative 10x plus 100 equals 50. Next step. Good job, minus 100 on both sides. So negative 10x equals negative 50. When I divide both sides by negative 10, I find out that x equals 5. So the question is, after how many hours will the cost be the same? After 5 hours, the costs are the same. The question is, what is that cost? What does that mean? Plug it in and solve for y, because y is the cost. So I'm going to plug it in into the first one. Y equals 15 times 5 plus 100. So y equals 175, I think. Ma'am? Yep, 75 plus 100 is 175, right? Okay. So one of these plans is better if you use less than 5 hours of service. One of them is better if you're going to use more than 5 hours. Does that make sense? So if you were going to have it for 2 days, meaning more than 5 hours, which company would you choose? Because why? Has a lower slope, or the cost per hour is less. Does that make sense? So when you do a question like this where it asks when will the cost be the same, that number that you get, that answer that you get, that's kind of like the tipping point. That means that one of the equations is going to be more expensive after that. One of them is going to be way less after that, right? So that's what that choice is, kind of that better value. I think this is our last example. Maybe not. I don't know. If you plan to take, how many more questions do we have? After this? Oh, hi. Yeah, I can. I don't want to skip it. I'm sure that there's a reason why I have so many questions. Give me a second. I'm going to look really fast. God bless you. Okay, maybe what? Maybe I did think you'd struggle. Okay, 2 balloons are in the air. Balloon 1 is 10 meters above the ground and rising 15 meters per minute. So this is where it starts, B. This is its slope. M. Balloon number 2 is 150 meters above the ground. That's where it starts, B, and it rises at 20 meters per minute. So my two equations, y equals 15x plus 10, and y equals 20x plus 150. I know it says T and M. I'm not using those. I'm using X and Y. Oh, it's descending. I didn't see that, dude. Good call on that. Negative. Yeah, good call. So graph the equations and we're just going to estimate when we think they will be at the same height. So if I graph this first equation, I'm going to begin at 10, beginning right here at 10, and I have to go up 15 over 1. So that puts me at 35, up 15 over 1. So that puts me at like 70. Isn't 35 plus 15? That puts me at 50. Sorry. Guys, I'm so tired. I got less than 3 hours of sleep. I'm sorry. That's why I said you guys just need to calculate for me. So 50, and then 3 puts me at 75. So it's something like this. This is my balloon 1. Okay. Now balloon number 2 is descending. Thank you, Gavin. So I begin at 150, but I go down 20 each time, down 20 each time, down 20 each time. So this is looking something like this. So where do you guys think that they're gonna, where do you think they're gonna intersect? After about how many minutes? Yeah. In about 3 minutes, they are at, I'm going to say 70 meters. Okay. We're not going to solve that one. We just wanted to graph it. So tell me when you guys are ready to go to the next page. We are not solving this one by graphing, and we're going to skip that last one. We'll skip the one at the bottom. Okay. Can we go to the next page? No. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No ham. Tell me when we're ready. Isn't that next one a percentage, like acid? You guys aren't doing that. That's for my math. These are the same notes that I use with my math one. Kids, you guys don't do combinations. Okay. Shh, you don't have to know this. We're not doing this one. And we are not doing this one. Yeah, no 6 or no 7. You guys aren't doing dirt. That's what this is. No D equals RT. This is the same thing. Yeah, we are done. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Yeah, I didn't think that those were problems for you guys. Okay, so here is your homework. So I tried to make this as like user-friendly as possible. So you have your X variable and your Y variable to say what they mean. In this question where it says the difference of two numbers, X and Y are just numbers. Okay, don't like kill yourself trying to think of it. Just come up with your equations and then solve. For this one, you have apples and bananas. Probably X is apples, Y is bananas. Does that make sense? Okay. So the rocket coaster has 15 cars. Some hold 4 people, some hold 6. 4-person cars, 6-person cars. That's what my variables would be. A 4-person car, a 6-person car. Do you guys want to set these up? Okay. Yes, you may. Give someone your notes. They can fill them out. Number 1, if I wanted to set this up, it says the difference of two numbers is 16. How do so I'm going to let X equal the greater number. And Y is going to be the smaller number. For number 1, define your variables. X is the bigger number, Y is the smaller. How do I show that the difference, meaning, and it's a positive, that means I need to take the larger number and do what with it? Minus the smaller. X minus Y equals 16. It says the greater number is X is 5 less than 4 times the smaller. What does less than mean? But it's that funky one. Remember, you have to put it at the end, right? This is the special less than. You have to like move this over. So 4 times the smaller minus 5. Those are your two equations. Who's filling out Amira's? Okay.
Wait, is this all you gotta do?
Well, you got to solve them. I'm just helping you set them up. Okay. Tell me when you guys are ready to go to the next one. I will. Ready? Okay. All right. 3 apples and 4 bananas cost. So let's let X equal the cost. Notice I use the dollar sign of 1 apple. And let's let Y equal the cost of 1 banana. So how do I show that 3 apples and 4 bananas cost $4.85? Yeah. 3 apples and 10 bananas cost $8.75. Okay. Do you guys see that you're only finding the cost of a banana? That's X, right? Or what? So you're finding the cost of an apple. So you want to find X. So if you're going to use elimination, you want to eliminate the Y. That would give you, like, that's, if you eliminate the Y's right off the bat, once you solve it, that's the cost of a banana, or sorry, of an apple. Okay. The rocket coaster has 15 cars. You have 4-person cars. Yep. And you have 6-person cars. Okay. It's up there. Do you see it? So for the first equation, it says there is room for 72 people altogether. What do you think? Okay, well, I want the equations. How am I setting it up? Okay, how many people go in X? 4, so 4X. How many people can fit in Y? And how many total people go on the train or whatever? 72. Okay. How many cars are there? 15. That means X plus Y has to equal 15. Those are your two equations. Okay. Got them both? Okay. Are we good? Double writing? Yeah, I'll give you a second. Okay. Tickets for the Valentine's dance cost $3 per person or $5 per couple. So let's let X equal the number of individuals, solo people. And then Y is going to be the number of couples. So how do I show that it's $3 per person or $5 per couple and I raised $475? Awesome. How do I show that 180 people came? Remember, this is the number. Yeah. X plus Y. Yeah, good job. X plus Y equals 180. Is this making sense how we kind of group the monies together? Okay. Let me get through setting them up and then I'll pause. I'll stop the video and I'll solve one of them for you. Yep. The next one is about coins. And it says that we have 2 types of coins. What are they? Dimes and quarters. So let X equal the number of dimes and let Y equal the number of quarters. It could be. I just try to put them in the order that they, see how it says dimes first? That's why I do that. So number of dimes is X. Number of quarters is my Y. Okay, how many coins do I have? I have 27. How do I show that I have 27 coins? Yeah, X plus Y equals 27. Now it talks about the value. How much is a dime worth? 10 cents. How do I show that in terms of dollars? Because my answer is in dollars, not cents. Yeah. So 0.1 X, that's a dime, plus how do I show the value of a quarter? 0.25 Y has to equal 4.35. Just because if it's in the front, it's important, but if it's at the end, it drops off, right? 2 is the same thing as 2.0 is the same thing as 2.00, so it just drops off, so I just don't write it. Good question. Okay, I think we have one more question, right? And we'll set up one more. Is everybody good with this one? Okay. Larger of two numbers. So let's let X equal the larger number and let Y equal the smaller number. So it says the larger of two numbers. What number is that referring to? What? No, it says what variable is the larger of two numbers? What variable represents the larger? X. So X is, that means X equals 11 more. So 11 plus twice the smaller 2Y. Then it says the sum of the numbers. How do I show the sum of those numbers? How do I sum those two numbers?
X plus Y.
Well, hang on. X plus Y. It says the sum of the numbers is, that means equals, 1 less than, what happens to that? Gets moved to the end, 7 times the smaller. 7Y minus 1. So those are your variables, and those are your equations. So I'm going to pause the video.